Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. There's more GOAT trivia with guest co-hosts Scotty Mays and Triple P. Kevin Rupert makes a valiant attempt to keep up without getting fired. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
All right, we're back on the Life Radio Show. I'm writing stuff down so I don't have to worry about where I am. I just dropped my GOAT book on the floor. This hour is not starting off well. Get my GOAT book. Just for that, you guys get GOAT trivia.
Yay!
All right. Legend has it. Goats discovered what berry? Don't say Chuck.
Dingle.
Nice. That has to be correct.
That was not correct. Blueberry, coffeeberry, blackberry, or none of the above berry.
It's none of the above berry because it's dingleberry. I mean, have you seen their excrement?
It could be chuckberry. But
their excrement looks like berries.
It does. Goat berries. Yeah. They don't taste like
Well, that's not chocolate at all.
Yeah. Scotty Mays is still here as guest co-host, by the way, in case people listening want to know. I'm still here as host. Kevin Rupert is the new Keith Irvin.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Been called worse.
Yeah. and Triple P is still on his second.
Still got one more.
Yeah, one more P to go, and he's got to leave.
So our options were blueberry,
blueberry, coffeeberry, blackberry, none of the above berry, apparently.
I'm going to say blackberry.
Wait, is none of the above berry really one of the choices?
Well, none of the above. I just put berry on the end of it because it's which one of the berries, and none of the above is not a berry, so that shouldn't be on the list. It's poorly written. Kevin Rupert.
I'm going to go with blueberry.
You would. We have blueberry, blackberry, coffeeberry, none of the above, chuckberry, and dingleberry.
I'm going with the dingleberry.
All right, dingleberry too. It was the coffeeberry.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's why they jump so high, because they're all hopped up on caffeine. So that is our GOAT trivia for this beginning of the show. All because the GOAT book hit the floor, and that is the rules. It's bad luck unless you read a GOAT trivia question anytime your GOAT book hits the floor. I'm making this up as I go along, Scotty. How am I doing?
The
sounds
book
legit.
of Dawn.
Sounds legit.
Do you think the folks listening bought that?
I think so.
Okay.
I think they're checking on the floor to make sure they didn't drop any goats.
Do you think they'd buy any of my merch if I made merch? Do you think any of them would buy that?
I would buy your merch.
Okay. What's a reasonable price?
$10.
Okay.
For what?
I'll take it. But I don't know. I don't have anything yet.
You got a yardstick?
So,
It's like I got this yardstick out in the truck.
Exactly. I
Sign
can
my
find
name
something.
on it.
Yeah. There you
how
go.
much the value
There you
of
go.
that goat in the book is $10.
Well, there you go. $10 goat screaming. Kevin Rupert, welcome to the show.
Hey, Don, how's it going?
I don't know.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
Okay.
That doesn't sound very positive at all.
It's the end of the semester here at Wright State, so things are kind of ramping up in terms of workload.
Okay.
Oh, do you go here? Do you attend here? Are you a student?
I work upstairs.
Oh, so you're an employee
Yep.
and a student?
My condolences.
Just an employee right now.
Just an employee?
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to hook up with a student?
No comment. Just because I'm employed.
Right. You got to be careful
you
there.
think-
I have to
didn't say
refrain
business.
from any.
You did say upstairs, though.
We'll talk off air.
Yeah.
Or will we? Because I'm Facebook Living right now.
It's
only
your
one
head.
viewer.
Your head. Now, not only have they heard you, they know what you look like now.
Yeah,
a good
it's
point.
true.
Yeah, okay, and they see the beads hanging off that microphone. They know what you've been up to.
Making me nervous.
Yeah, Patrick was in here squeezing his goat for the last hour.
Yep.
and you've got the beads to prove it.
Nice.
And we were grappling bulls earlier, so it's been
Okay.
an exciting show.
Beautiful show.
So you got some big shoes to fill.
I'll do my best.
So when they break for Christmas break, with you being an employee, then are you then on leave?
Oh
as
yes,
well?
yes. They used to have
Yeah.
winter leave. Do they still offer winter leave, or now do they just smack you on the butt and say good luck, chump?
Well, they give you a little bit of time, like Christmas Eve to like first of the year. You get a little bit of time off.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not
because it
too
used to be you got the whole week.
bad. Yeah. I think it is. It's
And-
roughly a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad they didn't get rid of that because I guess they've cut so many of their staff that they can go ahead and keep doing that, and
Right.
as they continue to treat the other ones poorly.
They're like, what
Again?
overhead?
Again, no comment.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't
No.
saying these things with you in the studio.
No, you're good. You're good, Don.
Because they're looking for reasons. I am a former employee.
Oh yeah,
of Bright
that's
State,
right.
yes.
That's right.
He's like, I
Yeah.
saw your picture up there where I work.
Yeah,
Says, "Do
I was
not let
kind of
this man in here."
surprised you were back in. Well, I was a student as well, and I can't do that anymore. No, I had to drop my class because everything that happened with the club in the past few months, I really had to. There were a lot of stuff going on.
Busy man, very busy man. You are actually being pulled in very many directions.
I am, and see, it used to be the only place I wasn't that busy was at work.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of thinking I could be sick yesterday,
Uh-oh.
and I took the day off. And when I came back in, there were three emergency calls to my buildings that nobody responded to.
Nobody had your back while you're off.
Oh yeah. So it was great.
Well, I
It was
think you
great.
have that at any job you go to.
Yeah.
Hey man, I got you. Really?
But it's a good place to work. It really is.
Yeah.
I've been really happy there, and just very busy day. So running around putting out fires that were burning from yesterday. So,
Yeah. Fires that you started because you took the day off.
well, yeah, I started a Friday. They went through the whole weekend.
Don
And
didn't
there's-
start
yeah,
the
there's-
fire.
Yeah. Yep, I did no such thing. Anyway, Kevin, what's going on? Now that you're taking a drink of water, I'll be like that annoying waiter that waits till you get
That's your
a big
food.
bite of food and says, everything okay? Is everything tasting okay? I always want to spit a little bit on them when they do that. It's like, phew, yep, good.
Oh,
Try
nice.
that piece.
Wow.
But no. Otherwise, I'm doing pretty good. Just kind of preparing for a few upcoming projects, getting ready for the barrel show.
There's the barrel show. That's December 27th?
December 27th, 8:30 p.m.
I better remember it, I guess.
Right. If not, we're in trouble.
Yeah, well, you have other comics on there that can cover, so,
Sure.
I'll be there. It's okay. It's okay.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's a pretty good lineup. I mean, we've got, like I said, Don's coming on. We've got Dusty Harvey. We've got Gary R. Henry. We've got Damon Darling Sr. He's coming on.
Now, you have good comics, too, right?
Yeah, a few of them, yeah, at least.
Just kidding.
But no, it should be a lot of fun. That's pretty much.
Well, I heard last month it was a really good crowd in there, so hopefully that continues because we need good shows with good crowds.
Did you start the barrel show?
Yeah. There was one previous incarnation. It wasn't called the Barrel of Laughs comedy show, but there was one other comic who had come in there and done a show, I think a month prior. But this is kind of like a new version, and it's now a monthly thing. So we're doing it. We did one last month. We got one for this month, and one for
I've heard
January.
good things, man. Congrats.
Oh,
getting
thanks.
that up and running. I mean, it's because
Thanks, man.
it's hard when you start a mic like that to keep it consistent. And, as long as people keep coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Yeah. How long have you been doing comedy yourself?
A little less than a year.
Okay.
Yep. I think I talked to Don about it a little bit last time, but yeah, I started in New York City. I was living out in New Jersey.
New York City?
Yeah. was living in nice. Love it. I was living across the Hudson in New Jersey with my girlfriend. She went there for a residency thing after medical school, and so I started doing stand up out there, and then she got another opportunity out here, so I moved with her and just kind of trying to keep it going.
Nice.
So you've just let her dictate where you go.
That's yeah. She wears the pants. She's making the money, so she makes the decisions for now. I'll catch up eventually. Give me a couple decades.
Yeah, there you go. My ex-wife made good money too.
Did you take
half?
alimony? All the payments.
No. It's I should have. I should have said, yeah, pay me.
Right.
But, no, I didn't. I didn't want to do that. There was a threat at one time where she was going to come after my house.
There's always a threat.
Yeah, which cracked me up because she made like 3 times the money I made. She had never made a payment on that house. The house was never supposed to involve her. I bought it from my grandmother.
Right.
And I told her, I said, okay, you go, you want to try it for the house, you try for the house. I said, I will walk out of this marriage with the house and spousal
beard.
support and my beard. Yeah, she didn't like the beard either. She had to go.
That's a deal breaker right there.
Well, I didn't have the beard back then. The beard is kind of a, I won't say new, but it's been
It's a progression.
It's a progression. Usually what I would do is I'd grow out some form of it and then I'd shave it off, or I'd grow a goatee and I'd shave it off. And basically about 5 years ago, I started working at a place where they hired me in with the beard, and they didn't have a problem with the beard. Then all of a sudden they had a problem with the beard after 6 months of me working there. And I told them several times, I said, if the beard ever becomes an issue, let me know. Well, they didn't let me know. They had 2 weeks of discussion with the bigwigs and then came back to me, changed the policy as it was written in the employee handbook in order to make me cut my beard down.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was about to shave it off completely, and I swore after that happened I would never go beardless as long as I worked there, and I didn't. I worked there for almost 5 years, and I think only one time in 5 years did I not have a beard. But the new policy was it had to be trimmed down to 1 inch, and that's where I kept it, at 1 inch for almost 5 years in that place, because I was not going to shave it after that. Because it just made me mad, and that's what I told him. I said, the only thing you've done is you painted a big target on my back because you're telling me for 2 weeks all the bigwigs, the presidents, the vice presidents have been discussing me in their meetings to the point where they had to change the policy. Because the way the policy was written is you could have a beard and mustache neatly trimmed, which I always kept it trimmed. It needs to be trimmed now, but I always used to keep it nice and neat and trimmed. So that was within the policy, but it said a beard and mustache neatly trimmed, no other facial hair. So I told him, I said, I am not going to shave my eyebrows. Because if a beard and mustache, what other facial hair is there?
Right.
So, yeah.
You should have let your nose hairs grow out,
so
too.
that's what, yeah, I should have, but it drives me nuts, though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So so that's why the beard is kind of stuck, and now I'm just the fat guy with a beard, and I'm good with that.
That's awesome. I mean, I had no idea that this was going to inspire a whole
story about me and my beard.
What I get,
yes, that's the origin. That is the origin. Every superhero needs an origin story, Scotty.
Well, you keep that cape on,
and I grew this beard out of spite, and that is what makes a true hero.
It's a great look for you.
Spite is kind of a superpower if you think about it.
Absolutely, absolutely is. It isn't.
I think they have a problem with the beards because they're the bigwigs. They want you to wear a wig and not a beard.
Yeah, if they were the big beards, I'd be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nope, they were just small men. That's who
My beard's bigger than yours.
Yeah. I did get fired from a job once. Speaking of small men, I got fired from a job once. And as I was walking out, this guy could have stood up for me. I was there for 7 years, and this boss of mine could have stood up for me, and he didn't. And I told him as I was walking out, he said, well, I really hate this. I was like, don't worry about me. I said, I'll be back on my feet in no time, and you'll still be on your knees. I headed on out the door.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good moment. It really was.
Feel amazing.
It really was. Every now and then you get it's kind of like being banned from a comedy club and then going back and buying it.
What music?
There are very rare instances where these things get to occur.
Did you have a soundtrack playing in your head as you were walking out after you said that? you know.
Yeah, it was kind of like when you remember Office Space when they smashed the printer. That was my song for walking out.
Feels good to be a gangster.
Yeah.
Man.
If I had the song, I'd play it right now. But yeah, that's fun moments. That's what life is all about. That's what the life is all about. We always bring it back to the show. That's how we do it, Rupert. I'm just going to call you Rupert.
Hey, people have been calling me that my whole life, so I'm good with that.
That's Stewie's teddy bear.
Roop, I got it. Yeah.
That's Stewie's teddy bear on the Family Guy.
Yeah.
We're not going to discuss what Stewie does to Rupert, though.
What's that?
We're not going to discuss what Stewie does with Rupert, though.
Appreciate
No.
that.
Well, we won't discuss what anybody does to Rupert.
I think Rupert may have been...
Because what happens in this studio...
Stays in the studio.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is written all over those beads.
What a great analogy.
Yeah.
Good thing it's not a video
analogy,
podcast.
Is that what it
Yeah.
Those are analogy beads.
Because we can't say what they really are on the air.
That's right.
Analogy beads. It's a great way to talk about those in front of your kids. Like,
Yeah.
do you watch those analogy
Yeah,
beads?
go get the analogy beads. Oh. And get the Wiggly stick. That's it.
Analogy beads and Wiggly stick.
Get the belted Wiggly stick. Get the.
I think we're tiptoeing on another title for this part of your show.
Well, this is the second. Yeah. So the we want belted Wiggly stick.
Or analogy beads.
Both. Yeah, we had a Stoltz Toad Christmas on the last.
Man.
So this is analogy beads and the Wiggly stick.
My face hurts now.
Patrick's high.
Patrick.
My face hurts, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
You had to be high when you got that screaming goat, dude.
Yep.
Where did you get that without naming a business?
Where did I get it without naming the
He
business?
ordered it. He ordered it
Did
from
you get that off
Screaming.
the Wish app?
He Googled screaming goats.
That's a highly addictive toy right there. I'll tell you that.
And 3 hours later, after he got done with all the bad sites, he found where he could order one.
I honestly don't remember how I stumbled across that. I just didn't. I can't even remember how. I
Oh,
must have been
great.
high when I ordered it.
It's been a nice addition to the show.
Yeah,
this
it
year.
has. It has. It's which we didn't really need anything
No,
to help.
I mean, we bring the thunder as it is.
Absolutely. It's all. That's what we're all about, Rupert.
What do you think, Root? Bring the thunder, Root.
I'm on board. I agree.
Rupert.
I feel like Rupert.
Anybody got anything?
Well, I was going to say, I feel like Rupert might have also been the title of like some cartoon TV show about a teddy bear. I don't.
It
I
could
may
have
be
been. It could have
mistaken
been.
on that.
I'm not sure.
But I wonder if that's where Family Guy got it from. I was just thinking about that. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll
I
table
think you're
that.
onto something.
Yeah, we'll table your Rupert and
Right.
get back to it.
Do some additional research.
Yeah, somebody Google teddy bears
We'll
named
give it
Rupert.
some deep thought over some analogy beads.
Yeah, I noticed you were sitting funny. I think we need to play a tune. I think it's time for a. See, I don't even know if I can play some choke hazard with the analogy beads right there.
Because the analogy beads are a choke hazard.
That's the wrong place to put your analogy.
Yes, that was. It's not good. Not good.
I wonder if he can choke from the other end.
That's called a fart. You absolutely can. Well, actually, that's called a.
That's called dysentery.
Yeah. Oh man, that is. Yeah, it's time to play some music. Take a little break and recover. Here,
choking out
we're
of our
gonna do. We're
buttholes.
gonna do a little. Yeah, we're gonna do a little choke hazard.
Choking butthole.
Which, yeah, butthole surfers. Well, that's next. First choke hazard. And we will be back. We'll be back here shortly to our analogy beads.
Job and left my girl to just go and tour the world. Wanna taste every single thing, every bit of life that brings. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary. Them to the grave, but I guess it's too late. Leave them all in the past. When I have 1,000 fans, maybe they will love me, 'cause I don't feel anything. I just wanna be there on the stage, staring God right in the face. The lights will dim and I will sing as the curtains open. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary.
Nothing brings people together quite like the movies, and every week Aaron Lopez wants you to join him in a discussion about the latest and greatest in the world of film. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and get comfy. Come join Aaron and friends every Thursday at The Drive-In, presented by Eventide Entertainment.
Hey man, this is Donnie Baker at Wiley's Comedy Club, and you're listening to WWSU 106.9. I swear to God.
All right, we're back on the Life Radio Show once again for the last half hour to bring it all home. All the silliness, all that it ends now. Put those analogy beads down, Rupert.
I won't touch them.
With his hands.
Well, yeah.
There's goat fudge.
Yeah, be careful. Yeah.
That's right.
That's what happens when you yank on the analogy bead too quickly.
Be gentle.
Yeah. Yes. Don't force them. I've heard. I know.
Yeah, I mean, just from what I've learned from watching you.
Yeah.
Watching you.
That is an old reference. I love that commercial.
I
That was
do
so
too, man.
stupid. I remember my friend of mine got
like his dad looks like somebody that would just abuse him. But go ahead.
Yeah, a friend of mine. We were over in his over at his house when we were in high school smoking some weed, and his dad walked in and looked at that, and of course his dad had great weed.
It was grass back then, man.
Oh man,
had some good
but
grass.
his dad walked in and just looked at us kind of funny, and my buddy turned, looked at him, just went, "I learned it from watching you," and I lost it. I fell out of my chair laughing, and he just shook his head and walked out.
The old after-school commercials, man. The
Oh,
ABC
yeah.
after-school.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the dude came in with the Keen Edwards
Because
cigar
parents
box.
who do drugs have children who do drugs.
Well,
You learned it from the DARE program.
Yes, there you go.
oh,
I killed my goat.
I killed the goat.
Over
That's
my goat.
ultimate bad luck right there.
You got to make it scream once you knock it over. That's the rules. To any good goat herder knows that.
yeah.
Once you knock it over,
they
you
do.
got to make it scream.
That could be taken in a whole lot of different ways, Don.
Yeah, it can be taken in a whole lot of
That's
ways.
exactly how it's meant to be taken.
Man.
Was that an analogy?
Anyway, where were we? I can't
There we are
even
again.
remember where we
There it
were.
was.
Where were we?
The ABC after school
The
special
ABC,
thing.
yeah,
it was
because you learned it from watch. You learned your analogy beads from me, apparently.
watching you.
Yes. So, should we hit some news
I
stories?
love it when we hit the news
Sounds
stories.
good.
Absolutely, because something's got to get us onto another subject.
We've been on this forever now.
A Hawaiian monk seal,
Oh my god,
That's a great opening.
because why not?
It's already good.
A Hawaiian monk seal got an eel caught in its nose. And it wasn't the first time for these endangered creatures. The Hawaiian monk seal research program posted a startling picture of a poor pup on Monday. And the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Fisheries, that's a hell of a name, more details in a post on Wednesday. The administration said it has seen the same, quote, eels in noses phenomenon nearly a handful of times in the last few years. We don't know if this is some strange statistical anomaly or something we will see more of in the future. More eels and seals' noses. Eels
Head,
and seals.
shoulders, eels
Yeah.
and nose.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
The agency has two theories on why it has happened. A cornered eel was trying to defend itself or escape and wound up in the seal's nose, or the seal mistook it for analogy beads. No,
Yeah,
the seal.
slippery little guy.
Yeah, slippery little eel seal. Or the seal. Or the seal could have swallowed the eel first. Seals don't swallow.
No, they were.
And regurgitated its prey out the wrong way.
Because I mean, Navy SEALs, they don't swallow.
Right. No, they don't.
They are quite
Jerk.
the seamen.
Well, yeah. What did the seaman think about this story?
First off, a Hawaiian monk seal.
A Hawaiian monk seal,
immediately
yes.
went to some meditating Chuck Norris looking guy.
Nice.
I can see
I had no
that.
idea that was an actual animal. That
the
shows you
Hawaiian
my-
monk seal.
I have no.
See, how do you? But it got an eel caught in its nose.
Hey, any hole it can find.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. It's gotta be some kind of drug to him, just snorting an eel.
Snorting an
Because
eel.
think about that. It's all wiggly around up in your, all wiggly around in your brain. It's going to get all wiggly around up in your brain, Scotty. Try you some of this eel.
Man, you sound just like Captain Spaulding, dude. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Oh, I don't know who that is. No, I'm kidding.
Of course you did.
That wasn't that the guy from the Thousand Corpses, House of a Thousand Corpses, something like
Yeah,
that?
Devil's Rejects.
Yeah. I remember him now.
I mean, you did a famous movie, 6 Feet Below Hell.
Yes. It is still available on Redbox right now, by the way.
So I just
Over
figured
a
you
year
would
and a
appreciate
half.
the Captain Spaulding reference.
Over a year and a half. I did get to film this weekend for the Goocher.
Nice.
Yes, a whole bunch of very dedicated extras and very dedicated actors and actresses, and 20-degree weather, running around, getting covered with yogurt and cottage cheese, rolling around in the mud. Everything, we had everything but the analogy beads out for this. We pulled out all the stops for the Goocher.
So I'm kind of curious. Why is it called the Goocher? What's it about? This film?
I can't tell you that.
Okay.
There is a trailer. There's a teaser.
teether.
There's a teething trailer out
I
there.
need a teaser
You
for my
just
Goocher.
gnaw on it.
You just wait till I get my gums on that.
Yeah, gum in the Goocher.
That's a movie full of
We
num-nums.
renamed the show, Scotty. It's Gum in the Goocher.
It's so much better. So much better.
Oh man, I love
How's it
this
we
show.
like sigh at the same time? We're meant to be together, Don.
Shh. We'll get the analogy beads and talk about it later.
Analogy beads. Is that like Braille for blind people?
It's an analogy for them.
Yes. Two Marine pilots, see, from SEALs to Marines.
Oh, here we go.
2 Marine pilots have been disciplined for making penis-shaped flight path over the skies of Southern California in October. Butt officials, not butt officials. Butt officials. But officials said the 2 pilots whose names were not released will be allowed to keep their wings, according to the Marine Corps Times. Quote, 2 Marine Corps aviators were administratively disciplined following the completion of an investigation into the facts and circumstances surrounding an October 23rd irregular flight pattern that resulted in an obscene image.
Irregular because it leaned to the left a little bit.
Yes, said Major Joseph Patterson, a spokesman of the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. Is that all it is? The Marines did not release details of the punishment given to the pilots because the discipline was administrative in nature. The 2 pilots based at Marine Corps Air Station Miramar in California first aroused controversy after they flew the phallic flight pattern. Anything phallic is a tongue twister, but that one, if you're creative enough,
Yeah.
flew the flight pattern in their T-34C,
Man.
which apparently is a jet.
Now, is that like the bad signal for Ron Jeremy?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm needed downtown.
Yes.
That takes some balls to do that.
Yes. Or at least the shape of them. Yeah. Yes, the Ron Jeremy signal.
That's
so
right.
a big, fat, hairy guy shows up, smacks people with his member.
Commissioner
I'm
Gordon's
needed
there.
elsewhere. Put this pizza down. He's not in good shape. He never
Yeah,
was
he
in
never-
great shape,
gonna
but
say.
now he's man. It's bad. It's bad. He can hardly hold himself up. I would
that's sad.
say. He can hardly hold himself erect. The activist group People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals
Oh, my God. You mean people eat tasty animals?
do not like seals snorting eels. No. The activist group People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals has a bone to pick with phrases it says are anti-animal.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
But rather than beat a dead horse or beating a dead horse, they're too expensive. Take it to the dealer; he'll fix it.
Only in Dayton.
Rather. Rather than beat a dead horse, PETA offers alternatives and more animal-friendly phrases on Twitter on Tuesday afternoon. For instance, PETA suggests saying, feed 2 birds with 1 scone instead of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And feed a fed horse rather than beat a dead horse. Just as it became unacceptable to use racist, homophobic, or ableist language, phrases that trivialize cruelty to animals will vanish as more people appreciate animals for who they are and start, quote, bringing home the bagels instead of the bacon.
So, hang on a second. Did they say feed the dead horse?
Feed a fed horse.
Oh, feed a fed horse.
Because you can't feed a dead horse.
I was just about to say.
You'd have to just stuff it in, kind of like analogy beads.
Unless it screamed.
Yep, and it could.
Well, then it's not dead.
It's not dead.
Screams.
Absolutely
That is true. That means I'm not even going there.
Man, that PETA one is just...
What kind of PETA?
A fetus?
Petus. I don't think we can say that on the air, can? Oh, I did say
Pitas?
Yeah. Pita. That's a type of bread, isn't it?
So
Isn't
many
that like
sensitive people
pita
today.
bread?
So much
It's
sensitivity
delicious.
out there.
It's
So much
delicious,
sensitivity.
but you know you can't eat pita bread without it being stuffed with some kind of meat. So
true.
That's
It's
very
true.
ironic.
Yeah.
In the Illinois Capitol Rotunda this month, several traditions are being celebrated. There's a nativity scene for Christmas, a menorah for Hanukkah, and then something a little different. An arm holding an apple. A baby's arm holding it.
What?
An arm holding an apple with a snake coiled around it. It's a gift from the Chicago branch of the Satanic Temple called Snaketivity. The work also has a sign that reads, "Knowledge is the greatest gift." Nearby stands a sign which the state offers a civics lesson and explains it didn't have much of a choice. Quote, the state of Illinois required by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution to allow temporary public displays in the state capitol so long as these displays are not paid for by taxpayer dollars. Because of the first floor of the Capitol Rotunda is a public space, state officials cannot legally censor the content of speech or displays. The United States Supreme Court has held that public officials may legally impose reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions regarding displays and speeches, but no regulation can be based on the content of the speech. So the Satanists can put their snaketivity up, and I say,
I'd like
why
to
not?
see a picture of that, actually.
Yeah. You
Like
want to
to
see
see
a
that.
picture of a baby's arm holding it?
It is a baby's arm? For
No,
real?
no,
Oh.
it's just an arm holding an apple with a
Okay.
snake wrapped around
Gotcha.
it. It looks pretty cool.
It's a
I'm
symbol
not.
as the forbidden fruit that
Yeah.
she so
Yes,
selfishly
yeah.
picked from. Church and state, right?
Yeah,
So it
blame it
only
on the woman.
applies at certain peak hours of the year. The
Well,
separation
it's a public space, so long as it's they can't really do
But it's a
anything about
rotunda.
it.
It's a government building, right?
But it's a public space,
Right.
so long as the government's not paying for the statue.
I see.
Right. And they're not
Gotcha.
endorsing any religion over
Right,
another.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't show favoritism.
right,
Right.
right. They clearly do.
I want to find something else to get irritated about.
Yes.
I mean, they have a goat in their logo, so.
They do.
Why not?
They
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you punishing us with goat facts for that
Yes,
one?
yes. Goat trivia facts. How many stomachs does a goat have?
Oh.
Ooh, trick
A,
question.
4, B, 1, C, 2, or D, 3? 4, 1, 2, or 3. How many goats does a stomach
Bruce,
have?
what do you think?
I'm going to go with 4.
4 stomachs in a goat.
What do you think, Pat?
This I know the answer to. so
Oh,
I'm
that's
not-
right. That's
Yes,
right.
yes.
I'm going to stick with 2.
Okay, 4.
Man,
4 stomachs.
I'm an O for
See,
tonight on goat
I told you
trivia.
I had 2 goat
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah, that was one of them.
That was one of them. I'm saving the other one just in case.
Just
It
in
happens to
case.
be the question.
Okay.
Well, I think we've spent all of our goat knowledge.
So
Okay.
you might as well go ahead and indulge.
It's a short book. It's called Screaming Goats, a Pocket Guide. Well, actually, if you read the whole thing, it's Screaming Goats.
Oh, yeah, because it has
pocket
the
guide.
actual dialogue
Yes, it has
on
the-
it.
They have a Screaming
yeah.
Cheetah Willies book out there, too.
Cheetah Willies?
Screaming Cheetah Willies?
Screaming Thompson's Gazelle of the Yard? A Los Angeles man said a problem with Burger King's Penny Whopper deal led to his being charged more than $1,000. That's a Whopper. Boyce Harvey.
How many calories are in a Whopper, too?
Boyce Harvey said he attempted to take advantage of the deal, which allows customers using the Burger King app to order a Whopper for only 1 penny if the order is placed within 600 feet of a McDonald's. But the manager at Burger King told him the order wasn't showing up in the system. Harvey said he ended up making another purchase, but when he left, he discovered he had been charged $1,093.91. He said his account didn't have enough funds, leading to a huge overdraft. Burger King said officials are working with Harvey to figure out what happened and correct the error. Apparently, he ordered 109,391 times.
Well, that's a horse of a different color.
Yeah,
because they use horse meat.
Because that is. That's a Whopper.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Good on you too.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm always I always like being appreciated for my Whopper.
At least you don't have milk duds. Yep, I brought it up.
I love it. I love it.
I'm really curious about the other goat fact that he has.
Oh, just dropped my water.
That's how it starts.
The other
goat
water
fact.
broke.
Somebody throw me the analogy beads while he picks up his water.
Yes.
That's right. The other goat fact is that if it falls over, you got to make it scream.
Oh,
that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
See, I was paying attention.
That is true. Not just true for goats.
That's what she said.
Ew. Or he, whatever.
Oh man, we're going downhill fast.
Grasping at straws, here, aren't we?
An Arizona man was searching for gold when he discovered my radio show. An Arizona man was searching for gold when he fell into a 100-foot deep mine shaft. That's the same thing. Same thing as I just said.
What kind of shaft was that?
In a remote desert area, sparking an hours-long rescue. Hours-long? Come on, man. Hours-long.
It was a fortnight.
Yes. John Waddell, 60 years old, was pulled from the shaft. From, not by. From.
I was waiting for a shaft joke to come in there.
He didn't have a stroke down there.
I was just reading what was.
He didn't have a stroke in the shaft, did he?
Hey, you take a 100-foot shaft and see what happens to you. Oh, John Waddell, 60 years old, was pulled from the shaft on Wednesday night, 2 days after his carabiner clip broke, sending him tumbling 40 to 50 feet to the bottom of the mine. Terry Schrader said Waddell, a close friend, called him on Monday to say he was trekking out to the remote desert area near Aguila, about 90 miles northwest of Phoenix, to search for the precious metal. Authorities said Wednesday that Waddell owned the property and had worked the shaft for 20 years.
Hey, a mine is a terrible thing to waste.
That it is. Schrader and Waddell had made a deal that if Waddell wasn't back by Tuesday, Schrader needed to search for him. So hours long.
He's way deep in the shaft.
Yeah. That man knows how to work a shaft. He's been doing it for 20 years.
Shaft made of metal.
Anything on that? Nothing? It was fun enough
I shot
just
my
trying
wad
to get
earlier
through it.
in the story.
Yeah. The world's oldest known bird is set to become a mother again. After raising at least 30 other youngsters, Wisdom the albatross has laid another egg. Wisdom the albatross has laid another egg at her nest site in Midway Atoll National Wildlife Refuge on a tiny island. There it is. About 1,200 miles northwest of Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean, in case you didn't know where Hawaii was. Biologists believe wisdom is at least 68 years old, forcing them to reevaluate the age at which anybody should be having children, and at which they expected albatrosses to live. Albatrosses or albitri?
Albitri.
Albitri. Albatrice. Albatrixes. Albatross mate for life, but will recouple if a partner dies. It's just like humans. The current age of her mate, Akikamai. Now, Kikamai made out after about 20 is not known, but the pair have been together since 2006. It's time to move on, dude.
Yeah. Now, I have kind of a dumb question. How do they know how old this bird is? I mean, like, have they been tracking it since birth? Or
they go by the length of the analogy beads.
I see. Yeah,
they cut it in half.
So,
and count the ring.
like carbon dating.
How do you age a bird? That's how I was trying. That's a good question.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Only time
there are
can
no
age a
dumb
bird.
questions on this show.
Sure.
Oh, there are lots of dumb and a lot of dumb answers too. This show is just dumb.
That's the life.
That's the life. Life can be pretty dumb if you have screaming goats.
The one thing Don doesn't have is a goatee.
No, I did. I did it one time.
Really?
It's been years. It's been years. About as
The 10-second delay throws you off
every time. Well, a screaming goat on a 10-second delay is always disturbing.
I thought somebody was mocking us. I was like, wait, there's more than one?
They got their own goat out there? What the hell?
Hey, this is war.
But they got their own analogy beads, too. That was the screaming you heard. We have one more story, and this is a feel-good kind of story.
Oh, boy. As if being pulled up from the shaft wasn't a feel-good story.
Anytime you're pulled up from the shaft is dangerous. A woman whose foot was amputated due to cancer, see, told you, feel-good story,
Nice.
Has dedicated an entire Instagram account to its daily adventures. Following surgery, Christy Loyal, who is very loyal to her foot, asked the staff if she could keep her amputated foot, to which they agreed. She then sent it off to be cleaned and transformed into a proper skeleton memento. Now, Loyal takes the skeletal foot on daily adventures and shares photos of it on its very own Instagram account, One Foot Wonder. Her detached foot now has more than 4,800 followers and counting.
Well, that's quite
4,800.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Joke.
No, it was good. It was good.
I think the problem was the delivery. A little bit of hesitation.
Yes.
Got to say it with confidence.
Surprised she didn't cut off the big toe and sell it to a Canadian
That is true, yeah. That is true.
For the shot
Frozen
glass.
toe, yeah. I don't even remember what that drink was called or where it was, but I remember that story.
Yeah. Still, that must have scarred me that I can remember that. There's somebody taking a shot of...
And stole the toe.
Yeah.
I think they swallowed it.
I think they accidentally swallowed it, too. How do you accidentally swallow a big toe?
It's a drink. You're drunk.
That's true.
You telling me you never swallowed when you were drunk?
Not a toe.
Not that you know of.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, she takes her skeletal foot with her because why not? I mean,
Flavor Flav's got a clock.
She should have it hanging on the chain around her neck.
I got it on a shoelace.
That's my foot, yo.
Don't make me stick this foot up your ass. Oh wait, can I say ass? I decided again.
Well, you did. Just asked.
All right.
Yeah. We can talk about knocking down screaming goats.
Yeah.
Why can't you?
And making them scream.
And make well, yeah, because
you have to finish the job. Once you
like
down
Rupert said, you got to make them scream once you do. That's the rules. I didn't make them up. I'm just trying to follow them. I don't want to.
Rules
I think
broken.
it's all about following the rules because you don't want things to be ruined. You have to follow the rules. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just over here. Screaming. Wisdom was the albatross. She can't speak.
I see.
Maybe it's words of wisdom that she can speak and told them how old she was. That's how they know. It was a 68-year-old bird.
Yeah.
And this was a story from an English newspaper, so they might not have been talking about an albatross. I don't know.
Maybe they count the rings on their butthole.
Pull out the analogy beads and just count it up.
That's why out in California they have them bleached so you can't tell how old they are.
Oh, wow.
It's another analogy. It's
In
okay.
California, you got to get Ron Jeremy. He comes out, takes a look, just tells you.
Yeah.
Put up
Yeah,
the
because
signal.
he can tell. Yeah, he can
Yeah.
tell. Yeah, you put up the Ron Jeremy signal,
Yet another,
which requires the Marines actually to.
right.
Fly around in a penis shape.
Well, nobody else can. It's Ron Jeremy's. Nobody else can lift it.
It's true. Takes
Can't
a
get
team.
enough. He can't get enough lift on his own anymore. He's pretty old.
The ultimate sign of teamwork is the Marines, so they're going to work together as brothers
Yeah.
to lift that.
Yeah. Well, the SEALs are too busy snorting eels. So
It's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
we're all over.
It's crazy seamen.
Yes.
I'm surprised if the Marines are not strong enough to do that. Then how did they manage to pull themselves from the shaft?
Yeah. Well, that's they do that a lot. I'd say actually the seaman does that too. The seamen
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Do that. But my English
Do
ain't no
that.
good. Yeah.
Can we
the
say seamen? Is that
Well, when
restricted?
you're referring
Well, yeah,
to,
we're talking about the
proof
Navy.
of-
The people.
Or
I'm just
Navy,
messing with
because if you're stuck on a boat for any length of time, you're gonna have
gonna
to.
be around plenty of
Sometimes you
seamen.
have to just pull yourself up by the shaft.
Yeah.
Gonna have to get semen to clean your poop deck.
Yeah. Ton of semen on that deck.
Yeah, oh, I bet.
It's from
I
the
bet there
analogy
is,
piece.
yeah.
What can I say?
Exactly. Yeah. Where did we go wrong?
Analogy.
Oh,
booth.
about 2 hours ago we started this show. That's,
Oh yeah.
I keep forgetting that.
I mean, the life is wrong all the time.
The life is fantastic.
The life is a
You just-
lie. Not this life.
Oh,
Well,
okay,
this life.
okay. With this,
Yeah.
this one's just
I don't know about
this
this
one's
life.
just total
but
crap.
This life.
Scotty, what you got going on? What's coming up? This is your chance to shine, and I'm gonna hand it off to you. And then if you want, you can do a shout out for Raider Up.
Well, you could always go to
Raider,
Dayton,
Raider Up from the show.
Right, Raider Up. Raider Up from the show.
You right?
Just have the New Year's Eve show coming up at the Recovery Cafe off of Xenia Avenue. That should be real hootenanny.
Hootenanny.
Because anything on Xenia Avenue is
It's got to be a
real
hootenanny. Yeah.
Whew. But other than that, man, it's just going to enjoy the holidays to the best of my ability. And
All right.
happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you guys do around here. Enjoy it.
All
Love you
right.
guys. Thanks for having me on here again.
Festivus. I celebrate Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah. Rupert?
Yeah. Actually,
Just like saying.
no, I like it. I like it.
Rupert.
No, I actually forgot to mention something at the outset. Either this weekend or next, my friend and I, Alex, we're going to be releasing a podcast called the Horror Hangover Podcast. Yep, Screaming Goat right there. And it should be pretty good. We don't know whether or not it's going to be this weekend or next just because of the amount of alcohol consumption could influence that a little bit. But we'll get it going at some point. The delay out there. But we'll get it going at some point pretty soon, and so just be on the lookout for that. And then, of course, Barrel of Laughs comedy show, December 27th, got Don on there, got Dusty Harvey, Damon Darling, Gary R. Henry, a bunch of other really good comics.
Not Scotty Mays.
Scotty Mays is going to be on an upcoming one, though. If I can,
There you
if I
I'll
can
let him know.
persuade him.
There you go.
Yeah. I won't take much for I'm a comic. You don't have to persuade comics.
Yep, I'm on it. Sweet.
It doesn't pay much, but good stage time though. But yeah, so Barrel of Laughs and podcast coming up this weekend, and that's pretty much it.
All right. Triple P.
I don't really have much to
Nothing,
say. Tune in to Tune in to Raider Up. Excuse me. Tuesday 4 to 7, we cover a bunch of campus news and other shenanigans that are going on in campus.
Is that your
And there's a
DJ
lot-
name now, Triple P?
I just say Triple P. It's not a DJ name. I don't play music except for today. I played African music today.
You did it well.
Yes. Everybody was relaxed.
You don't take
Then I
compliments
came
well,
in
do
and
you,
screwed
Patrick?
it up.
I'm not much of a compliment person.
Giving them or receiving them? Looks like both, maybe.
I'm a giver and a receiver. With the analogy.
Yeah. That's how we roll today.
That's how we scream.
That's how I
All right,
scream.
all right. That's the final scream. And that is the final scream. I can take no more. we're going to go ahead and we're going to get out of here, and we will be back next week. Next week, tune in. Jesse Nutt is going to be on the show.
Jesse
is fantastic.
Love
we
that
might
guy.
actually have a good conversation about comedy, which would be really interesting for once, instead of just this stupid crap. But no, it's going to be a good show next week. I don't have another guest yet, but so far I got, of course, my guest co-host is going to be the lovely, the fantastic Charlie Hester is going to be coming all the way back over from Illinois, and we're going to be joined the first hour, I believe, by Jesse Nutt. So it's going to be a great show. Tune in. Thanks for listening and all that. We'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM with a repeat broadcast on Wednesdays from noon to 2, or you can always stream the show live at wwsu1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email the life1069@gmail.com.
Dingle.